lesson, we'll be discussing linear regression model. At the end of the lesson, you should be able to write a linear model and use it to make predictions. So a trend line is one that passes close to most of the data points. It's also called the line of best fit. And the strong correlation means that a lot of the points are near the best fit line, and a weak correlation means not so many. An equation to model this trend line is y equals mx plus b. So the first thing you have to do is find your slope. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Choose any 2 points. Then find your y-intercept either by substituting the values of y, m, and x into the equation or using point slope form. A linear interpolation means I'm trying to find new values within the data that I have. An extrapolation means I'm estimating or predicting beyond the data that I have. So I'm writing an equation in slope-intercept form for the line of best fit. So the first thing we have to do is find the slope. So we use the 2 points, 3 and 2,500, and 11 and 5,000. So I subtract 5,000 minus 2,500 over 11 minus 3, so that's 2,500 over 8, which gets us 312.5. Now I can either use point slope form and substitute those numbers. Y minus 2,500 equals the slope, which was 312.5, times x minus 3. I use my distributive property, so y minus 2,500 equals 312.5x minus 937.5. I add 2,500 to both sides, and I get y equals 312.5x plus 1,562.5. My other option is to use slope-intercept form. So again, plugging in the numbers for the y, m, and x. So I'll use that same point of 2,500 equals 312.5 times 3 plus b. So 2,500 equals 937.5 plus b. I subtract the 937.5 from both sides, and I get 1,562.5 is the b. So I write my equation y equals 312.5x plus 1,562.5. From a table, again, first thing I have to do is find the slope. I'm choosing my points of 9 and 165 and 236. Y minus y over x minus x, so 165 minus 36 over 9 minus 2. So that gets us 129 over 7, and that's 18.43. So if I use point slope form, I have put in my, I'm going to use the point of 165 and 9 and 165, so y minus 165 equals 18.43 times x minus 9. Do the distributive property, so y minus 165 equals 18.43x minus 165.87. And then I add 165 to both sides, and I get y equals 18.43x minus 0.87. Can also do it in slope-intercept form. So I plug in that same point. So 165 equals 18.43 times 9 plus my b. Multiply those, and 165 equals 165.87 plus b. And I subtract 165.87 from both sides, and my b is equal to negative 0.87. So my equation is y equals 18.43x minus 0.87. From this graph, it says, based on the graph, write an equation to approximate the ice cream sales. My first step is finding the slope. So I'm going to choose the points 16 and 350 and 20 and 450. So 450 minus 350 is 100, and 20 minus 16 is 4. So 100 divided by 4 is 25. Using point slope form, plug in the number I'm using, the 16 and 350. So y minus 350 equals 25 is my slope, times x minus 16. Distribute y minus 350 equals 25x minus 400. So y equals 25x plus 50. Or I can use slope-intercept form. So y equals mx plus b. Using the same points, 350 equals the slope of 25 times 16 plus b. So that's 350 equals 400 plus b. Subtract 400 from both sides and I get negative 50. So my equation is y equals 25x minus 50. So the second part says, about how much ice cream will it be, ice cream sales will there be if it is 30 degrees? So I would just plug that number in. So y equals 25 times 30 minus 50. So y equals 750 minus 50. So if it's 30 degrees Celsius, we would expect $700 in sales. So what's the difference between a weak and strong correlation? How close the points are to the line. What's the equation for the line of best fit? Y equals mx plus b.